Roxy Music. We went to see them, and the interesting thing is that most rock and roll bands, whatever they were dressed up in that morning is what they wore on stage at night, but not Roxy Music. They would actually get dressed up to go on stage. And when we saw that, we were like, we got to do the black version of that. so we went and we contacted all these famous designers, the Fendi sisters and stuff. And then
I remember your album covers, you were wearing the most amazing outfits.
Exactly.
You looked the creme de la creme, all in creams and whites.
And we even wrote Halston, Gucci, Fiorucci, part of our lyrics. Now everybody does that. But when we did it, I mean,
you were the pioneer.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
But of course, you can seriously play as well. You have a very distinctive sound. When did you first sort of pick up a guitar?
Believe it or not, I learned how to, I won't say master, but play well enough to go from a complete novice to working on Sesame Street in 3 years.
Wow, really?
Wow.
But I was already.
You worked on Sesame Street.
That's my first job.
Oh my God!
I mean, where you got a paycheck. I mean, I did lots of jobs where you didn't get a paycheck. But yeah, my first professional job was with Sesame Street. Then I moved to the Apollo Theater house band, and just as luck would have it, the guy who was in the Apollo house band left and joined David Bowie's Young Americans.
As you do.
And then next thing you know, years later, I would wind up producing David's biggest record.
But tell us a little bit about working with David. How was that?
The greatest time of my life. It was the fastest record I ever made. Believe it or not, 17 days, start to finish, delivered. And he had no record deal, and I had just lost mine. So it was just he and I against the world, and we wound up making the biggest record you could imagine.
Yeah,
and you must have seen such an amazing talent in that man. I mean, we all do now, but you were there first, and you must have gone, whoa.
Yeah, but he was already a superstar.
But you saw what you saw in him. I mean,
you saw it up close, is what we were.
Yeah, and what was great about David is that he could speak in abstract terms that I could understand.
Yeah.
When we did Let's Dance, he knocked at my door one morning. He says, "Nile, darling, I want my record to sound like this." And he pulled out a picture of Little Richard in a red suit, getting into a red Cadillac convertible, and he had red hair that was hanging out to there. And I said, "Oh, I get it."
He's amazing. And I mean, of course, you know, you work with Prince as well. There is a theme through all of these amazing legends, you know, that we look at as legends, and you've worked with so many of them. What was Prince like? I mean, was he a dream to work with, or...?
Prince was amazing, but what really struck me was, ironically, the last time I ever looked in Prince's eyes, the last time we played together, we were playing Let's Dance. We were playing Bowie's Let's Dance.
I mean, both of them have obviously died this year.
Right, which is...
I mean, obviously the Prince death was a complete shock to everybody, but David, did you know that he had cancer? Because you've had cancer yourself, haven't you?
I didn't know about cancer, but, you know, the thing that's odd is when something like that happens to you, and you know someone else well, and you have a good relationship, you can feel there's a difference. And every time we play in New York, there was always an open invitation for David to come and play with us, because we play Let's Dance really well. And we just thought that if he would join us, it would kill. But he would always decline, but without giving... it seems like he gave it serious thought, but he would never say yes. And I just assumed that he really probably physically wasn't up to it.
Okay. You've got a great story about Prince, a very funny story. Tell us about that story.
I got a million funny
No, but tell us the one about the bum. Yeah. You know the one.
Okay.
You know the one.
So we were huge fans of Prince, and he was a big fan of Chic. So we went to see his first concert in New York City, and when he came on stage, we had just gotten to the theater a little bit late. So he hadn't started playing yet, but it was the beginning of the show. You know, you get the loud end rumble and the smoke and stuff, and they're standing there, and we see this gorgeous girl standing with. This is cut out. It's like totally cut out.
Like the cowboy thing,
but the cheeks are sticking out. And they're all like tight and everything. I'm like going, whoa! Look at the girls they have in this band. Because in my band, Chic, we have a lot of girls, but they don't put their bums out. But anyway,
of course not.
So they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Prince," and then he turned around and the girl had a mustache. And it was Prince.
No, we have
say very, very quickly, you're over in the UK because you're an ambassador for BBC Music Day and also your Fold Festival. You're going to be a very busy man.
Yes.
Tell us very quickly about both of those events.
About both. So, being an ambassador for UK music, which is awesome for me because it's basically celebrating music all across the UK. And for me, that's fantastic because I've had some of my biggest records with UK artists. And also, it sort of revitalized us.
Yeah.
After I was stricken with cancer, you know, we started doing gigs in Ireland, Scotland, and of course, we've done a lot of gigs in England that have been killing. And then when I decided to do Fold Festival and bring it to the UK, we got an invitation to do it at Fulham Palace, which has never had a concert. So this will be the inaugural concert.
Brilliant. Do you need any backing singers?
Yeah.
No.
The details
Wait a minute,
as
you're
well.
all invited because the...
And I promise you, we won't get our bums out.
And we have to say...
No, that's
Friday the 3rd of June is BBC
That's a-
Music Day, and the 24th of June to Sunday the 26th of June is the Fold Festival. We have to say thank you so much to Nile Rodgers.
We get some pretty fabulous guests here on Loose Women. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click here to watch more interviews with a whole range of famous faces. And click here to subscribe. It's free, so you'd be silly not to, really.
About a year and a half ago, I had a talk with Lindsay.
Yeah.
I had the everything I wanted to say to you for 35 years.
Oh, brilliant. How long did it take, Stevie?
And I started 1968.
Yeah.